Hi, everyone. Deirdre Morgan here, Intuitive and Clarity Coach, and popping in with some quick tips for making the most out of this month, April's 3 universal source energy. So, how to get to be a 3 month? How do I figure that? As you know, I use numerology as my main trigger into an altered state. So, this is how it works. We take first the frequency of the universal year, 2024. We add the factors together, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4, and we get an 8. So 8 is the universal year vibration or universal source energy. Then we look at the month. What position is the month in the calendar? April is the 4th month in the calendar year. So we add the 8 of the universal year to the 4 of the universal month. We get 12, double digit, not acknowledged in numerology. 8 and 4 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. There's your 3, okay? And 3 is a happy, joyful, upbeat, optimistic, playful, imaginative, fun frequency. Everyone wants a 3. So we've got a 3 year, and what it's indicating now, remember the 8 is our universal year of renewing power and authority. Okay, the 3 with the 8 says, find those happy hormones. Find feeling good with yourself and being happy in your skin. This is the month to activate the joy, the happy, the joy bubbles, and being playful and imaginative and creative to counter all the previous work we've been doing on rescuing. I call it, we've been on a rescue mission of our wounded child. We've been doing our best through inner journey, shadow work to heal the wounds. Now, the wounds aren't necessarily going to be healed. They're going to be there. What we really need to do and focus on is healing the pain of the wounds. Pain is emotional, okay? So we're healing the pain. So when you hear you got to feel it to heal it, it's saying you've got to go in and relive that painful moment, whether it was anger, frustration, resentment, jealousy, sadness, grief, whatever it was. It's the pain that blocks us and keeps us stuck and being judgmental and being protective and defensive with our life game. So everyone breathe. We're in a 3. This is happy hour. Let's take advantage of it. And it is through activating this part of ourselves and experiencing it and making it come alive in our life and present that we create this new balance within us, a new harmony, if you want, that is heart-based and can lead us into the 4th, 5th, and beyond dimensions, okay? So I usually pull a card for my big Zoom long talks. We just had Zoom 47 last Monday night. And I was really, I'm always so thrilled and amazed and in awe. The card I picked was a High Priestess. Beautiful card, yes? Take a good look. The High Priestess is the subconscious in us. It is, we think of it as feminine. Probably a more accurate interpretation would be androgynous. Because when you look at this card, you can see that the upper torso is all soft and curvy, and we have lots of crescent moons symbolizing the divine feminine and the intuitive, creative, fertile, uh, playful parts of ourselves. And the lower aspect is straight, rigid, contained, more masculine. Yes? But here we have feminine and masculine working together. Now, if we notice, there's a bow and arrow here, always about taking action, aiming high. It represents the goddess Artemis. I think she was Greek. She may have been Roman. But it means you can't just be, you have to do, right? And what are we doing? Well, we're manifesting. And when we're in this subconscious balanced process, heart, feminine, head, masculine, then we can manifest all sorts of wonderful riches and goodies from the earth. You'll see there's a camel there, and you may wonder why. But the camel is our way to journey to the garden, which is all that we've manifested. But in mystical, metaphysical terms, the garden is, the garden reflects the state of higher consciousness, highest consciousness, greater awareness, our true self, our real nature, the light in all of us. So keep this in mind, because this is a card, you see, of balance, of intuition, of self-trust, and self-resourcefulness. So if you've got a tarot deck, if you've got the High Priestess, pull it up and maybe put it on your desk or in your mirror, but it will remind you balance, all about balance. Why is it all about balance? Because when we are in balance, masculine, feminine, head, heart, yada, yada, you've got it. We're in a state of peace and stillness and love. And this is the state of unconditional love. This is the true reward for all this inner journey, all the trials and muck we've each been through to clear up our doubts and fears. We can then truly move into unconditional love, which what? Creates peace, joy, and love, not just for ourselves, but for our loved ones, with our loved ones, community, and eventually the world. So let's go for it. Let's do it. 3 shows us the way to higher consciousness by claiming our joy. Okay? So, time for us to own it, even when the world seems falling apart. Okay? And when we're in our heart, when we're using that 3, we see the joy and good life. And I am saying that if you can create a happy, joyful life for yourself in whatever corner of the world you're in, then this sends that higher frequency vibration to the collective, which can then diminish the doubts and fears and frustrations that now run and create the violence that we see in the world. So, come on, get happy, creative, imaginative, playful. And if it seems too hard, still, you're not comfortable with it, take a deep breath and say, okay, I'm not living in my heart. Why not? Why am I resisting all this joy and goodness? And time again now to look at it. Sit down with yourself and source it. Because if you're not acting activating that inner coach, the joy in you. The inner critic will move in. And we all know, we've all lived with the inner critic far too long to want to go back or maintain, depending where you are on your timeline, that lack mentality of not enough, not good enough, never enough. Okay. So this month, particularly, it's a 3 frequency. You know what that means. It's upbeat, joyful, and creative. It's in Aries, the sign of the individual, you, your identity. So find the 3 and activate that 3 in you to create a new balance, a new harmony, so that you live fully in the times ahead. You must be, I must be, we all must be our own resource. Okay? Simply put, feel good inside and happy in your skin, and then spread the sunshine. So, how about 4 quick tips to check out if you're there, or maybe how you can get there, depending where you are. Number 1, have you flipped your stories? Instead of focusing on the past hurts, disappointments, and wounds, and how horrible it was and how unfair it was, have you gone into the pain of the experience? Are you able, and have you discharged it? You can discharge it through breath work or any physical activity you designate to get rid of the pain. You can go to coaching, get some tapping, some Reiki, acupuncture. Sound healing works on the energetic level terrifically well. It's my first choice, really. But it's the best way to do it. You know, when I was going through my divorce with my former husband, I was in a lot of pain. And we had just bought a house in Hollywood Hills, and it was on a hillside. And I had to plant some ivy or do something so, we wouldn't have a mudslide. So I went and bought 1,000 ivy plants, seedlings, or whatever you call them. And I just planted in that hillside. And I put all my hurt and all my anger and all my rage and frustration and jealousy into digging those holes and planting the ivy. And I did it. And then afterwards I thought, oh, those poor ivies, they had all that yucky, heavy, dense energy that I planted with them. I hope they grow. And I went back home and came back a week later, and the hillside was just glowing with ivy. Ivies don't judge my emotions. They had a wonderful time, and we had a glorious hillside of ivy. That's how you can discharge pain. You can go for a bike ride. You can go for a swim in the ocean or your pool. Anything you designate as releasing that painful emotional energy will create a healing. Another thing you can do is, if you don't have time, you don't want to go to the beach or a hike or whatever, sit on your couch and just sit with yourself thinking about the experience. The emotional feelings are going to come up. You sit with them. You do not read a book. You do not look at a magazine. You do not answer the phone, watch TV, Netflix, YouTube, whatever. You sit with yourself and you experience the emotion and just breathe, keep breathing, keep breathing. And all of a sudden, that emotion, that energy, that toxic energy will dissolve itself. And you're on your way, okay? And then you say, what is the positive of this experience? And sometimes it's pretty challenging to figure out what the positive is. And I would offer this to you as a starting point. These negative, bad experiences are a way of taking us out of our dependency, our reliance on someone else or something else for our counting on them for our well-being and happiness. As kids, we're all hostage to outside authority and the outside world. But as adults, we're not. And so we have to own that we're adults, that we have choice, that's what's going on. We will perhaps never forget the experience, but we won't hold that emotional charge on it, which blocks us from moving forward, from moving up in life. Okay? Make sense? Yes, of course it does. You know, there's always going to be some pain in life. We live in a dualistic, polarized environment at the moment. The thing to remember is, yes, there is pain. And yes, I get to choose how much I'll suffer. That's empowerment. That's taking back your power. That's healing. That's release. Got it? That's the first suggestion. Second quick tip is set new boundaries. Only this time, the boundaries are not going to be set to protect you, to defend you from further pain or hurt or disappointment. This, I want you to set boundaries that will bring you joy, love, fulfillment, whatever makes markers are to lead you to your best life and to live your fullest potential. It's that simple. One new boundary I insist on my clients considering, because I never tell them what they have to do, is you look at your friendships and relationships, which is really how we find how balanced and at peace we are with ourselves, and say, are they supportive? Are they kind? Are they honest? If they are, they're keepers. If they're not, you have a choice. Number 3 is ask yourself, am I living in my heart? Who am I listening to? Am I listening to the celebrities, the media, the books, the other outside sources, or am I listening inside here and what seems to be in my comfort zone? How well are you or have you adopted to your inner coach? Remember, 3 is the cheerleader whom we've now are calling the inner coach. So the inner coach really steps in to replace your inner critic. So are you being kind, supportive, and honest with yourself? If not, why not? Source what's going on. This is a wonderful time to source all those missteps and misdemeanors and turn them into big, beautiful, happy joy bubbles. And 4, I'm going to ask you to drop the word control. I'm going to ask you to stop thinking of control as power and you control things. You control things out of fear, out of doubt, out of forgetting who you really are. And I want you to stop thinking of yourself as managing. Okay? Managing has such a wonderful flow to it. Manage. You're directing, you're choosing, you're in charge. Control is very structured, rigid, beginning, end. But we're in fluid times, my friends. So use fluid words that will empower you. And these are the 4 quick tips I'm offering you for the life-changing, magical results of the 3 April 2024 year. In a nutshell, 3 creates a new balance, harmony in you. Self-doubt and fear of their influence, their power over you is being dissolved, diminished. Your choice. It's all about balance now. Has been since the lunar eclipse last October in Libra. Remember, Libra is all about balance. And in March 25th, we had another eclipse, new moon, I think, in Libra. So it's a new time. It is just new beginnings. And it's not just a new chapter in your story. It's not a new chapter or outlook in your life. This is a new horizon because you're moving out of your head into your heart. And you're not going to put your head on the shelf. It's going to work with the heart. This is the fifth dimension. But you've got to get yourself, your heart open, listening to it, activated for you to feel the balance, feel the peace and harmony and love and joy that is innate, organic to us. So I love it. It's heartfelt action living starting this month. And the ultimate result, of course, is that what I mentioned casually when we started. The ultimate result is that we're now in a position to express and live unconditional love. Because when we reduce, when we eliminate emotional pain that creates imbalance, puts us out of whack, then there's no fear in our thinking. There's no lack in our thinking. And there's only love. So let's face it. Bottom line, the key to any success you have in life is due to the love you put into it. And if you're holding back on that love and that joy in you still, then you've got to take another look at it and believe in yourself, because it's all about love. Everything else is incidental. And this is our journey right now. It's always been our journey. It's just moving more and more into the foreground, more and more into our lives for us to face. This is our journey right now, personally and collectively. So activate those happy hormones. Yeah, I know it sounds corny, but we need something short and sweet. We need to live a good story. And it's only by embracing the love, light, and joy within you that you can move into the fifth dimension and live a wondrous story, not just good. So that's my input for the month of April. I've enjoyed being with you. I hope you've enjoyed and you will take all of this talk with you and put it into action. Take care. Thanks for joining me. God bless.